106, 97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Tonight, I'm here with
Ejubi Wiafe Akente.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
We have decided to charge Mr. Hanan Abdul Wahab and his wife, Faiza Seydou Wuni, with stealing, conspiracy to steal, causing financial loss to the state.
Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine makes public details of the case his office has built against some former government officials, including ex-CEO of the Bafa Stock Company, who stands accused of money laundering and more. Also coming up and still on the AG, former Deputy NSS boss Gifty Owari granted bail to the tune of 10 million cedis. We'll be telling you more on what transpired in court today. And later on Eyewitness News, the issue of the the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill is back on the front burner. The minority side in Parliament is accusing the government side of backing away from the anti-LGBTQI bill, which was a big deal in the last Parliament. Still with 97.3 CTF for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Ghana's informal cross-border trade hits 7.4 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 quarter 4.
That's from the business desk in the next 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations, including Tungsun 97.3 FM in Wa, also Jirapa 96.1 FM in Jirapa, Bimbila Radio 91.9 FM in Bimbila, Mike 105.3 FM in Navrongo, in Tajevu on Revival 99.3 FM, in Kumasi on Orange 107.9 FM and Focus 94.3 FM, in Goso on Hames Radio 106.5 FM, in Sunyani on Greener 95.9 FM, and in Takrady on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM. We're also on YouTube and we're on Facebook. Just look for Citi FM and follow the live feed from our studio. I'm Umaru Sandamadu. This is Eyewitness News and I'm here with Ejubi Wiafe Akente, who brings us our first story.
The Office of the Attorney General has filed charges against the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, NAFCO, Hanan Abdul Wahab, and his wife, with multiple criminal offences including stealing, causing financial loss to the state, and money laundering. The charges follow the conclusion of investigations by the Office of the Attorney General, which has uncovered what it describes as the unlawful transfer of over 78 million Ghana cedis from NAFCO's bank accounts between 2017 and 2024.
We have frozen all the assets of Hanan that I have listed, including a 10 million Ghana cedis fixed deposit account at Republic Bank, Labone branch. That is the liquid assets. They also had a lot of bags. I didn't want to list them. The wife has over 61 luxury bags. All right. Name them. He himself was buying watches, some costing as much as 1.5 million Ghana cedis and so on. We have taken note of all of them. And so we've done the freezing, including those of the vehicles. So on account of the foregoing, we have decided to charge Mr. Hanan Abdul Wahab and his wife, Faiza Seydou Wuni, with stealing, conspiracy to steal, causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit, obtaining public property by false statements, and money laundering. The charges will be filed on Friday, and I have the charge sheet, the draft charge sheet, which I am reviewing here for everybody to see, so that nobody goes to say that I have indicted somebody and I don't have charges. I have my charges ready From now onwards, when we are announcing the conclusion of investigations, we are either contemporaneously filing charges or we are filing them immediately thereafter.
The Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, further revealed that the accused persons orchestrated the transfer of the funds into accounts belonging to a private company linked to Abdul Wahab, his spouse, and other associates of NAFCO.
I call the criminal enterprise operated by Abdul Wahab and his collaborators at Buffer Stock the rumble in the jungle, not only because of the huge amount of money at stake, but because of the fact that while food suppliers were wailing and gnashing their teeth due to failure to pay them for supplies to the Buffer Stock, and while our school kids were being denied nutrition under the school feeding program for lack of funds, Mr. Abdul Wahab and his collaborators were busy lawlessly looting funds meant for the program. The EOCO conducted a coordinated operation based upon their initial investigations, which resulted in the arrest of Mr. Abdul Wahab, former chief executive of Buffer Stock, his wife Faiza Seydou Wuni, and then James Atieku, the Buffer Stock manager for the northern sector, who was based in Tamale. The operation also led to the arrest of Emmanuel Atta, head of corporate affairs of NAFCO. The arrest followed initial intelligence and assessment by EOCO, who suggested that while serving as CEO of Buffer Stock between 2017 and 2024, Mr. Abdul Wahab colluded with his wife, Richard Sam, head of finance, Bismarck Ousu Boache, finance department, and Emmanuel Atta, corporate affairs manager, and others to create an elaborate criminal enterprise that was used to steal and launder public funds from the Buffer Stock Company.
Investigators say the accused persons established and operated multiple bank accounts to facilitate the illicit movement of state funds, concealing the transactions under false pretense.
Evidence shows that between December 2017 and May 2019, Hanan Abdul Wahab transferred 5,495,780 Ghana cedis and 36 pesos from Buffer Stock company accounts to two bank accounts belonging to Aludiba Enterprise, one of his companies, at Republic Bank and ABSA. Aludiba Enterprise is not a registered supplier of Buffer Stock Company. Hanan Abdul Wahab between 2019 to January 2022 also orchestrated some suppliers to transfer an amount of 11,998,830 Ghana cedis, 48 pesos, to an entity owned by a staff of Buffer Stock, and later instructed the staff to retransfer the funds to a company owned and run by himself and his wife.
You heard Attorney General and Minister of Justice Dr. Dominic Ayine.
What do you make of the announcement and the statement by the Attorney General? Let's hear from you. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Let's get some reactions to what the Attorney General said. Often when he speaks, he's accused of engaging in public prosecution. Joseph Benka served as a Deputy Attorney General in the first term of the Akufo-Addo administration. He's a lawyer. He's joined us on the line. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Thank you, my brother. Good evening to your cherished listeners.
Good evening to you.
I'm very, very honored to have me now.
I'm honored too. Thank you. Now, the view is that what you do as, and I'm using you to also mean you were once at the Aegis department, so that could refer to you. The Attorney General is essentially an institution that levels allegations against people, where these allegations will be tested in the court of law, and the person may either walk or be convicted. Now, if that is the case, and the belief is that even the charges themselves are mere allegations, would an Attorney General be wrong if he publicly announces what he has uncovered and what he plans to do with it? Because he's often accused of engaging in public prosecution.
Yeah, thank you very much once again. Omar, I would like us to look at it from two perspectives. One from the Constitution and two from the factual circumstances. Now, from the Constitution, Article 19.2, it's very clear that every person accused of an offense is presumed to be innocent until he has pleaded guilty or the court has proven so. Now, as a result of that, you find that a lot of the courts are very clear that outside of the courtroom, when you discuss the merits of the case, it's sub judice, it's prejudicial. It can lead to circumstances where justice may be perverted. So, as far as possible, discussions of the merits of a case is avoided in order not to prejudice the outcome. This is the position of the law. However,
So it can be discussed in the courtroom, but not outside the courtroom. Is that what it means?
yes, please. And again, if you want to discuss anything outside the courtroom, then those ones must not give conclusive determination as to the factual circumstances as far as the case is concerned. In other words, if I come and I make a series of allegations against an accused person who is not present at that media briefing to give his side of the story, and the story sounds so good, so credible, so truthful, and so reliable, they are engaging in a public trial of the accused. And remember that the accused, as I have indicated, is not immediately available to give or proffer a response that will contradict what you have said. Now, when that happens, then you have pent-up feelings and a charged public against that accused person who is supposed to be tried and who the Constitution said is innocent until he has pleaded guilty or is proven guilty. So, as far as possible, I always say that you can make general comments, you can make general discussions, you can adumbrate some legal principles and then look at some factual circumstances. But you must not come to conclusive determinations and state that by the set of facts you have, you think that you can get conviction. And Omaru, this is because if in the end the evidence is not sufficient enough to constitute conviction and the person is acquitted, then people begin to point hands at the judiciary as being complicit in corruption because they have not actually convicted somebody by the set of facts the public had.
But
these are all meant to check these excesses. Yes.
But is there not a remedy in that where our civil law provides for malicious prosecution where you could go to bring an action because you thought that you were prosecuted unlawfully? And secondly, about the publicity of the charges, is a charge sheet in the possession of the court not a public document where, as a journalist, I could file and have that record and publicize same? Would it not amount to the same thing as what the Attorney General did today?
No, not at all. You see, the charge sheet and the facts by the prosecution are public documents. That's true. So if you just leave them as they are, and you don't run commentary as to their authenticity or otherwise, how guilty a person is as a result of those set of facts, if you don't run that commentary and just leave it at that, there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem comes when you begin to do detailed analysis of the various charges and the facts, and you come to the conclusion that the crime has been committed anyway, the person is guilty in advance. That is very dangerous in legal jurisprudence. Because remember that, as I indicated, before you convict a man, you must give him a hearing. You haven't heard the story of the other side to balance the two and come to any determination. And it's so basic, the Odi Outram Party rule of natural justice is so basic and fundamental that failure to comply with saying in anything, as far as the law is concerned, however guilty a person may appear to be, your failure to comply with the principle of natural justice will render a whole trial nugatory. Now, what I have indicated is this. If you have heard what happened this afternoon and you go through social media, people have come to the conclusion that the person who is alleged to have committed offense indeed committed the offense and is guilty of sin. And if you read the pent-up feeling and the commentaries that is being run, it's as if judgment has been passed by the court and the accused person has been found to be guilty. But that is not the case at all. So we must avoid discussing the merit of the case. The facts of the case, you can put them out. But to discuss the merit and say that, for example, you will not go to court if you are not convinced that the crime has been committed, and therefore it is only when you know that you will get conviction that you go to court. You have already determined the issue. That is where the details and the nitty-gritties you have actually churned out to the public can create mischief tomorrow. So it is good. You can come out and enlighten the public that you are prosecuting. That you are prosecuting this person, maybe the person is facing 10 charges or 20 charges, is being put before court. The details as to how you are going to strategize and do the prosecution, etc., will be executed in court. But as I have told you, the danger is very clear, and the presumption of innocence in the Constitution, Article 19(2), was not put there for nothing. It was to ensure that people who are put before court and who have not been convicted are not treated as though they are convicts. Discussing the details and the merits of the case, Umaru, for me, will be a sin as far as the Constitution is concerned.
So, I don't know if you would want to comment on the part where you could take the Attorney General to court, or a police officer, whoever may have prosecuted you, if you thought that you were prosecuted wrongly, was malicious.
You see, first of all, the malicious prosecution you're talking about mostly will happen after the judgment has been entered.
Yes.
So when you go to court, you are put before court, and they have a set of facts against you. They put in their witnesses, and at the end of the trial, you are acquitted and discharged. You can sue for malicious prosecution in certain exceptional circumstances if you can establish that the whole trial itself should not have taken place at all, because certain basic ingredients and principles necessary to mount prosecution as far as the particular charges were concerned were absent right from the beginning, and therefore whoever prosecuted you did so maliciously. Okay. Otherwise, one of the problems that will also occur is that it will be a fetter to the rights of the Attorney General to do his work if he will say that every case he goes to court with, he must win. So it will depend on the circumstances of each case. In certain cases, it is very clear that the facts and the charges are such that they should not have been proffered at all before a court. Okay. And in that particular case, you can establish malicious prosecution. But whereby the judgment of looking at the circumstances, maybe it is only because of cross-examination and certain facts that were elicited as a result of the cross-examination. Otherwise, on a set of facts that were presented in the charges, a prima facie case was made by any person who was responsible for prosecution. The malicious prosecution in that circumstance will not lie.
Okay. Finally, you said at the beginning of the conversation that because the matter is sub judice, you don't have to go and discuss it. Because he has not been formally charged in a court of law where he has pleaded guilty or otherwise, you cannot strictly say, or strictly speaking say, that this matter is sub judice, can you? Because as of now, the Attorney General is at liberty to make the accusations in public, and the accused person is at liberty to also come out publicly, go to the media and respond, which he actually has done on his Facebook page. So it's like dog by dog on the street. The court should not be concerned with what's happening now, should it?
Yes, so you're right. That's the legal position. It is not before a judge now. But as soon as you file it, but from what I heard, if I'm right, from what I heard, he said it's been filed and it will be heard on Friday.
Okay, all right.
Immediately you file the case, the court is seized with jurisdiction. It is not when the accused person appears before the court, but immediately the documents are filed, the court is seized with jurisdiction, and at that particular moment, every discussion must be carefully done, because as I indicated, it will be sub judice. So it is only when it has not been filed that the issue of sub judice may not arise. But what will then arise at that particular point is that you are engaging in public trial as far as that matter is concerned. And if you do the public trial and the details and nitty-gritties and all that, you churn it out, your facts and everything that you needed to do, and at the end, it doesn't work the way you anticipated and told the public. As I told you, the public will begin to have doubt in the judiciary and think that the judiciary is complicit in corruption and etc. When indeed and in fact, the evidence before the court could not constitute enough evidence to secure conviction of an accused.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Umaru, I'm grateful.
That's Honorable Joseph Kpenka. He's former Member of Parliament, former Deputy Attorney General. He served as Deputy AG in the first term of the Akufo-Addo administration. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Hanan Abdul Wahab himself, the former CEO of Buffer Stock Company, has been speaking on the Attorney General's press conference. I'll be sharing that with you when we come back. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
If you know these sounds, you didn't just live through the 90s. You lived the experience. Back then, connection took minutes. Today, it takes a blink. You express yourself with memes. You hold video calls across continents. You say hey to an AI who responds,
"Hello, Kwame."
You order rides, dinner, and dreams all from the palm of your hand. A lot has changed, so have we. For over 3 decades, EcoBank has evolved with you, leading digital banking in Ghana and across 33 African countries, pioneering solutions built around how you live, move, and dream today. From our express points to EcoBank Pay, online banking, and the mobile app, we are where you are. Here for today, ready for tomorrow. Now, that's change, powered by EcoBank.
EcoBank, a better way to bank your way. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car, they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine, they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
We asked Ghanaian business owners what they want from Old Mutual.
I want insurance and pension solutions that will protect my employees.
Your business growth is our business. For 180 years, we have partnered with businesses to protect and grow their most valuable assets. From tailored group life assurance protection to affordable pension plans, we've got your business and your employees covered. Contact your broker or call Old Mutual on 0509 551 609 today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like Jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana Citi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. This afternoon, the Attorney General, during the usual press briefing or the briefing to the country at the presidency by the ministers under the auspices of the Minister of State in charge of government communication, he made some revelations about investigations they conducted and what they found, specifically on former CEO of the Buffer Stock Company, Abdul Wahab Hanan. The Attorney General said that some properties were allegedly acquired by Abdul Wahab, and he listed them. Let me just share with you some of the properties that he talked about. And he said that these properties were acquired by Abdul Wahab or Abdul Hanan with stolen funds. So he said Hanan has a 5-bedroom house at Chain Homes in Accra, valued at $1.6 million. So $1.6 million, 5-bedroom house at Chain Homes. Then he said Hanan also has a 3-bedroom house at Cantonments, valued at $600,000. Then there's plots of land at Airport Development Area, valued at $750,000. Then a 17-bedroom boutique hotel in Gumani, Tamale, valued at $250,000. Then there's a 4-bedroom bungalow at Jowulo, Accra, valued at 4,142,451 cedis, so 4.1 million cedis. Then he also allegedly purchased a 0.32 acre parcel of government land, valued at 307,000 cedis. So that is what the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, announced to the public this afternoon in relation to what Abdul Wahab Hanan had allegedly engaged in. Now, he himself, Abdul Wahab Hanan Aludiba, was on social media to respond to what the Attorney General said, and he said, subject to response to statement made by the Attorney General. My attention has been drawn to recent statements made by the Honorable Attorney General during a press engagement in which my name was mentioned in connection with allegations of corruption. I wish to state respectfully that these claims are untrue and do not reflect the facts of the matter. I have no involvement in the issues being referred to, and I find the comments deeply unfortunate. I have asked my legal representatives to review the situation and to advise on the appropriate steps to protect my reputation. I look forward to the opportunity to present my side and to have my day in court, where I am confident that the truth will be made clear. I remain fully committed to the principles of honesty, transparency, and integrity that have guided my work throughout my career. So that's Abdul Wahab Hanan Aludiba, former CEO of the Buffer Stock Company, responding to statements that were made by the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, earlier today. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. But Hanan was not the only subject matter that the AG talked about. Was he?
Yes, so the Attorney General also spoke about some individuals under investigation that have attempted to strike plea deals with his office. Now, speaking at the Government Accountability Series, he said that among those who approached him was Ashanti Regional NPP Chairman Bernardine Pibuesiakon, also known as Wuntumi, and the Attorney General, however, emphasized that all such approaches have been rejected.
Offers have been made, and I have turned all of them down. I have told everybody, please go to the court. If you want a plea deal, I'm filing cases. In the Wuntumi case, offers were made to us for a plea deal. I said, no, I'm filing charges. If you want, announce your intention for a plea deal to the judge. That is now my strategy. The MPP took advantage of my saying that I'm open to cutting plea deals to say, okay, that I was busy cutting deals in the office. No deal has been cut, except under the auspices of the court of competent jurisdiction. That is what I have decided, and that is what we are going to do, going forward.
That was Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine.
Let's speak to Vitus Azim. He once headed GII. He's an anti-corruption campaigner. He's joined us on the line. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir. Hello, Mr. Azim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good evening to you. Hello, sir. Mr. Azim, can you hear me?
No, I'm not hearing you.
Okay, is it any better?
Well, slightly.
Okay. I'm sure you heard the Attorney General speak today on some specific cases he's investigated and the plans to prosecute.
The
line is bad. We'll try and re-establish connection to Vitus Azim. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let me bring some of the messages that you have been sending through on our WhatsApp platform. Emmanuel at Mafikumasi says, AG must live up to expectations because Ghanaians voted for change and they must retrieve all the money that were looted by an individual. Anyas Ghazali in Tamale Central says, until proven guilty at a competent court of jurisdiction, the statement made by the AG against Abdul Hanan and his wife can only be treated as pedestrian opinion. We pray to see how this legal action ends. More messages. Ibrahim says the Attorney General he said the Attorney General is engaged in character assassination. We stand in support of oral, but we won't condone the exploitation of the legal system to tarnish reputations for political gain. James Yeye, Bosco's Gate in Avrongo says Abdul Hanan, former Buffer Stock CEO, must be made to face the full rigor of the law to serve as a deterrent to public officers who think public service is to amass wealth. Let me go back and see if I can speak to Vitus Azim on a better line. Mr. Azim, can you hear me now?
Yes, now it's better.
Grateful. You heard the Attorney General today speak and say that this is what he has found specifically on Abdul Hanan, the former Buffer Stock CEO. What do you make of the revelations he made?
First, my first issue is that the investigation is very thorough. All this information, getting to the location, identifying the assets, the purchases, the locations, it's so interesting. And I believe that if the Attorney General was not convinced about these findings, he will not come out and make them public.
The accusation has been made against the Attorney General that he's engaging in public persecution.
Well, I think as far as he's concerned, it's the allegations. He hasn't condemned them as such. These are the findings of his investigations, which he now intends to proceed to maybe the courts for prosecution. So he has not yet, judged the persons involved, alleged to be involved. So I don't think that should be the way you look at it.
Well, it's one thing coming out to announce what you have gathered, but it's another thing proving it in court. So it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. You are convinced that these charges, if brought to court, would stand, based on everything you know around the subject matter?
No, I'm not in the position to say that I know that when it's brought to court, it's Attorney General. I believe that he will be convinced that what he has found out, he can prove in court. And that's why he has made it public. But as an outside person, I cannot say that I'm convinced that it's going to, be proved or not. But I'm just saying that the revelations appear to show that the investigations have been very thorough.
Do you think the AG needs to give this public update, or he should have simply just gone to court and started the process and let journalists report on what's happening in court?
Well, I think it's a government policy that the ministers will come out from time to time to account to the people. We talk of transparency and accountability, and I think he's just rendering his account to Ghanaians. There should be nothing wrong with that.
Okay. There's another part. Our law allows for people to engage in what's called plea bargain, where they would agree that they engage in the crime alleged and would be willing to pay back some monies to the state. Dr. Dominic Ayine has been dragged on the carpet for some time now, since he announced that he had granted this plea bargain to some persons who were standing trial on that famous 60-40 sharing of the loot. Tonight, he's saying to us that some other persons have come through asking for this plea bargain and he has rejected. One of them, Chairman Wontumi, the chairperson of the NPP in the Ashanti region. You are an anti-corruption crusader. Should we fight to get back our money through the plea bargain, or we should fight to send people to Nsawam?
See, there are two approaches to this. Depending on the criminal extent of the allegations, if it's just the fellow has taken monies and the Attorney General is convinced that maybe there was administrative fault or something, is not necessarily criminal, it didn't have criminal intent, and the fellow is willing to return the money, to refund the money, maybe it will be okay to take the money back. But if there's criminal intent as well, I think that it's not enough to just recover the money. In any case, you can recover the money and still send the person to jail. And I think that is discretionary. It depends on how the Attorney General views the issues that are being investigated and decided upon.
Finally, there are people who are saying the government started with Operation Recover All Loot, but the wheels of justice, which we know are supposed to grind slowly, appear to be grinding at a rather slower pace than they expected. As someone who has been watching the space, are you satisfied with the anti-corruption campaign of this government thus far?
I would say no, because our expectations were raised about the work of the order, especially even before the government was sworn in. They set up this committee to do the work. And so people were expecting that within 2-3 months, they will see people being thrown into jail, the money, huge money is being recovered. Unfortunately, the law does not work that way. It's a bit difficult. Like the investigations have to be done and done thoroughly. All this information that the Attorney General has brought out today, the people are even denying it. So if you don't build a good docket on some of these things and take it into court, you will fail. But then you ask an earlier question about his coming out to announce these things. You know that the people in the opposition were already saying that, oh, after all that noise, the Attorney General is doing that thing because there's no, they haven't found any serious information backing the allegations that the order made. And so that's one of the reasons why there's a need for an attorney to come out from time to time to tell Ghanaians what it has found in the investigations. But as for the slow pace, yes, it is not meeting the expectations of Ghanaians. But also remember that there was a legal vacation from around July to October, which could have also delayed some of the processes. And so I still think that I think there are a few high-profile cases that have been brought to court, and we just need to exercise patience and see what happens. Once we are sure that nobody is left off the hook, we should hope to see something good happening.
All right. And before you go again, one more comment that I want to get from you. The Deputy AG spoke 2 days ago about the seeming non-collaboration with the OSP in relation to Ken Oforiatta. I'm sure you followed that public debate as well. The OSP has come out to say they will be presenting the docket to the AG this week. But the whole public spectacle, is it helpful?
It is not helpful. But nobody wants to be blamed for sleeping on the job. Why is it that the Office of Special Prosecutor had to wait till now to say, oh, we are bringing the docket? Where was it? Was it ready or not? Because the office started this whole process somewhere around March, April, and even gave some red alert on the wanted person on demand. It's just that he said he was sick and that kind of thing. But he gave a timeline. The timeline came and passed. And then you realize that you are initiating process to get the man brought back to the country. And then all of a sudden there's silence. Do you think that Attorney General will just accept the blame? Because you also know, you as Officer Special Prosecutor, you know that you cannot be the one that to initiate the extradition process. It is the Attorney General. But you need to pass the information that you have gathered in connection with the case to the Attorney General to now be able to file the process. And if you don't do that, why are you denying that, refusing to accept blame? But I think, like you said, we didn't need this. There are state institutions that should be cooperating. not to come out in the public to be debating, apportioning blame on these things. I think it is not good enough.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too. Have a good evening. That's Vitus Azim. He is former head of GII and anti-corruption campaigner. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Talking about corruption, there was another case in court today involving former deputy head of the National Service Authority. Ejubi, give me a summary of what has been said in relation to that.
Yes, the AG has asserted that scale of financial losses in the ongoing National Service Authority NSA scandal is far greater than initially reported. He disclosed that a forensic audit conducted by the Auditor General has uncovered a total of 2.2 billion Ghana cedis in funds either stolen or illegally expended within the NSA.
Also, I wish to announce that the Auditor General has conducted a forensic audit into the NSA, the National Service Scandal, and the total amount of money stolen or illegally spent now stands at 2.2 billion, and not the 548 million that was uncovered by my investigators as at June 2025. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I have here a copy of the Auditor General's report. Again, painstaking investigation is very important in criminal matters. And so, based upon what the Auditor General has done, and this is a forensic audit, okay? Forensic audit means that they've gone beyond what ordinary, auditing would have done. And so, we are going to, based upon this, in some cases, change the charge, amend our charge sheets in order to bring fresh charges.
That's Dr. Dominic Aine, his Attorney General. Fred Tete-Jabano is our head of current affairs. He's here in studio with me. Fred, that particular issue the AG talked about, there's an update from the courts, isn't it?
Yes. So last week, as you recall, one of the accused persons was put before the court. She was not available. The Deputy Director General of the NSA, Gifty Owari, she was put before court last week, but she failed to appear because, according to her lawyer, she was not feeling well and had an excuse duty from the hospital not to appear in the court. So today, whilst the Attorney General was addressing the press on the updates on oral, she was also appearing before the court, the Accra High Court, where she was formally charged. So she's been charged with money laundering, she's been charged with causing financial loss to the state, she's been charged with stealing and using public office for profit. The amount of money in this particular case, as we speak now, is 38 million, even though now the AG says that the case, and looking at the amount, has shot up to like 2.2 billion. This particular case before the court where this matter is being heard is 38 million when you put everything together. So to the Gifty Owari.
Which means that what the AG said at the press conference today has not been added to the update that was presented to court.
Yes, it's not been updated. Those charges have not been updated. If they will be updated later, we cannot tell. But then in court, this issue had to deal with the 38 million and the charges of money laundering, stealing, using public office for profit. Gifty Owari was charged with all these. She pleaded guilty.
Not guilty,
sorry. She pleaded not guilty to all these charges. After pleading not guilty to all these charges, her lawyer, Nana Benin, pleaded with the court for the court to grant her bail. He argued that Gifty is one person who would not run away. She's a responsible citizen, should make herself available anytime the court would want her to be available. This bail application was not opposed to by the state. So the state was represented by the Deputy Attorney General. This bail application was not opposed to by the state. The court then decided that they were going to grant her a 10 million CD bail with 3 sureties, all to be justified.
Do we know whether she's been able to meet those conditions as yet?
As we speak now, we cannot tell whether she has met the bail conditions. But before she came in, she had already been granted bail by the investigative body, IOCO. So she did not come in police custody.
Okay.
She was granted bail before coming in. But as we speak, as of this evening, we cannot tell whether she's been able to meet these bail conditions.
Thank you so much. Fred Jaban is head of current affairs production here at 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 Television. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. From the judiciary, let's go to the legislature now, shall we?
Yes, the minority leader, Alexander Penyomarkin, has expressed concerns that the majority caucus is backing away from the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025, also known as the Anti-LGBT Bill. Despite being listed on the order paper on Tuesday, the bill did not make it to today's agenda. Speaking on the floor of Parliament, the minority leader, Penyomarkin, assured that the minority won't give up on pushing for the bill's passage in Parliament.
Only yesterday, when we were raising this issue, Mr. Speaker, you were saying that the bill must pass. Now you are in government, you are in the hot seat. When the IMF, the World Bank, IPU threatening, you are now running away, you are saying procedure. Which mistake? There was nothing administratively in error. I dare say for the records. You force LGBT on the throat of the Akufo-Addo government. Today, you don't want LGBT. You would want it. Mube pepa. Mube pepa. You use it to win elections. Now, when your stakeholders, the international community is warning you, you want to run away. Run to where? You now see governance. You are in the kitchen, you see the heat. I was there. We will plead with you. Let's manage this situation. You say no. Remember that hot afternoon? Agboja, as a chief whip. You remember that hot afternoon? When you suffocated me with third reading. You are laughing.
You heard Minority Leader Alexander Penyomarkin and Majority Leader Mahama Yariga in response says the bill was advertised on the order paper on Tuesday as a result of administrative error, compelling the clerk to Parliament to have it removed from the order paper.
So when we drew the attention of the Speaker to the advertisement, he indicated that he did not recall approving that it should be advertised. And the clerk told me that he thought the bills had gone through the processes. But Speaker said, well, you have to bring me the evidence, because I don't recall approving that these two bills should be advertised. We indicated that we thought that the bills had been passed by this House already and had been sent to the presidency for assent. And so we didn't see the need to reconsider a bill that has already been passed by this House, waiting for presidential assent, unless the constitutional procedure for returning the bill to us is complied with by the president, for us to reconsider and then use our two-thirds majority to approve the bill, even if the presidency had some issues with it. So Speaker then actually instructed the clerk to reconsider his action. I believe it is in that spirit that today the table office did not advertise that bill. I recall that in relation to item 1, property rights of spouses bill, Speaker was actually more disposed towards that, because he did recall his decision on that particular one. And then we indicated that government was also working on a similar issue, and therefore there was a need for some engagement so that both the private members who were proposing the bill and the Attorney General could reconcile positions on the matter, and then we could all participate in taking that on board. So that was the conversation that took place yesterday with the Right Honourable Speaker in the presence of the clerk. Unfortunately, both of them are not available today. The Speaker has travelled, and then the clerk has also travelled, and I think that is why the table office has safely taken it out. But when the Speaker returns, and then the clerk also returns, at the level of leadership, we can go and engage him and then agree legally what the position is.
You heard Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Who cries calling me this other one?
Hello. Good evening, Kwame.
Good evening.
We are into baby foods and would like to introduce...
Wait a minute. How did you get my number? You just use ways and means to find people's numbers and be calling them by heart. No respect for privacy or anything at all.
Oh, Bra Kwame.
Is your business privacy ready? Do you collect and use information of people in your line of work, like their name, number, location? You might be doing the wrong things. Whether you're a big company or a small one, you must respect people's right to privacy. Register and be certified by the Data Protection Commission of Ghana. It is the law. You will receive the necessary training, advice, and guided on the right systems to put in place to help protect information you collect about people. Register your company. It's simple and online. Visit www.dataprotection.org.gh to register. Privacy is the responsibility of everyone. Remember, privacy is personal.
Are you ready to unlock the next big thing? It's a universe of endless possibilities. Get ready to be part of this universe.
My hands are champion, creating temptation. 100% natural Kibo. Ginger, garlic, onion. No salt, no MSG. No preservatives. Steam them natural. Chicken, fish, and meat. Yes,
Kivo 3 100% natural ginger garlic onion powder. Incredible aroma. Champion taste. This advert is FDA approved.
Ginger, garlic, and onion. 3-in-1 Kivo.
Hey, Ruben. Every 2 seconds notification. The Momo keeps on coming. It keeps on coming, eh?
Ma, I am the community Momo man now. People send money, and with the Momo app, every payment is done. My transactions are flying.
Hey, Aden.
Ma, you didn't know, eh?
Over 2 million Ghana cedis is up for grabs in the Stillman Saka promo. Transact more than 100 Ghana cedis with your Momo app, and you could win daily, weekly, and monthly cash prizes, and 100,000 Ghana cedis grand prize. And it's not just payments and money transfers. Bank to wallet transactions, savings, loans, investments, pensions, POS transactions, and Momo transactions from other partner platforms qualify. This promo runs in collaboration with the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ejibi Uyafe Akinting. Let's settle for the details. The total value of informal trade between Ghana and its neighboring countries reached 7.4 billion Ghana cedis in the first quarter of 2024. This is according to data from the Ghana Statistical Service. Speaking at a press briefing to present the latest trade statistics, government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu said the figure represents about 4.3% of Ghana's total trade volume for the period. He explained that the informal trade sector was largely dominated by food commodities, reflecting strong demand for agricultural produce across the sub-region.
Total value of informal cross-border trade was estimated at 7.4 billion Ghana cedis. During the same period, Ghana's formal trade stood at 165.3 billion. And here, when I say informal cross-border trade, I mean both imports and exports. And when I say formal trade, I mean both imports and exports. This means that the informal trade accounted for about 4.3% of Ghana's total trade for the quarter in question. Now, this percentage, 4.3%, might sound modest at first, but it represents an enormous amount of real economic activity. Every city in that figure reflects goods. It reflects people. It reflects communities engaged in daily cross-border exchange that until now has gone largely unmeasured. What these findings tell us is simple but very, very powerful. We are looking at a significant share of Ghana's trade with neighboring countries, which happens outside the formal system.
You heard government statistician Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu. Away from that, stakeholders in Ghana's agricultural value chain have welcomed the government's plan to create 500,000 jobs in the agriculture sector, but are urging authorities to avoid politicizing the initiative. The ambitious program, expected to be outlined in the 2026 budget, aims to boost employment through the expansion of key economic crops such as oil palm. Speaking to the media, former executive director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Dr. Charles Nyava, said the initiative could significantly transform Ghana's raw economy if implemented transparently.
If government is coming up with a program that is going to create about 500,000 jobs, we welcome it. But our concern has to do with our experiences in the past of similar promises or similar programs and the outcome. Close example has to do with the planting for food and jobs, which never happened. So we are only worried. One of the key failed strategies in the past was that we came out with a very nice program, nice strategy, nice implementation plan without backing it with sustainable budget. So we do it the first year, and going forward, other activities that we need to implement, there's no budget allocation to that. The main cause of the failure of similar program has to do with leaving it in the hands of politicians who are not necessarily farming. They take advantage, they take the money, they are not able to implement.
That was a former executive director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Dr. Charles Nyava. The Industrial and Commercial Workers Union Ghana says Prudential Bank Ghana Limited has suspended its decision to implement selective salary increases for a section of staff following a protest at the bank's headquarters in Accra. The union noted that the bank's management agreed to halt the move after several hours of closed-door meetings with IC representatives and the protesting workers. The development follows an earlier sit-down protest by some staff of the bank who accused the new management of unfair treatment and lack of transparency in its recent salary adjustments. Here is the General Secretary of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, Morgan Eyewitness, speaking to the media.
They have graciously agreed that they have suspended that exercise. So, by the rest, and as to the way forward, surely you can trust ICU. Yes, they have gone ahead to pay the 55, workers, some of whom are members of the union. We have proffered a solution to this, because if you overpay somebody, you don't say that you have normalized the situation, but the issue of overpayment is very clear, and our demand is that they should take steps to reverse it. When we got here, our demand was going to be that management should withdraw their action entirely or pay the same to everybody.
Morgan Ayawane is the General Secretary of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union, ICU, Ghana. Second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Matilda Asante Esiedu, is calling for more deliberate efforts to promote equity in Ghana's digital financial space, stressing that access alone does not guarantee inclusion. Speaking at the Movex Africa Tech Innovation Conference 2025 in Accra, she noted that while more women now own formal financial accounts, usage remains low, particularly among low-income earners and informal sector workers. Matilda Asante Esiedu reaffirmed the Bank of Ghana's commitment to advancing financial inclusion through policies that encourage innovation and protect consumers.
According to the Alliance for Financial Inclusion, formal account ownership among women in Ghana has nearly doubled over the past decade. But account usage remains patchy. Having an account alone is not enough, and it's not the same as using it confidently, safely, and productively. For the underserved and the unbanked, the barriers are no longer technological, but more human and economic. Building for equity must therefore be intentional. We must design digital solutions mindful of gender and rural inclusion, offering access to those who trade outside the formal banking system. This is how inclusion stops being a slogan, which we all gladly love to share, to becoming our living reality, because that's what our continent and our country desires. At the Bank of Ghana, we are steering a three-pronged agenda grounded in practicality and evidence. Our priority first and foremost is to strengthen instant payment rails, ensure full interoperability across wallets and banks.
You heard Second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Matilda Asante Esiedu. The Ghana Gold Board has opened applications for jewelry fabrication and refinery licenses effective Wednesday, October 22. The move is part of the agency's broader strategy to promote sustainable growth in the downstream mining sector in line with the Ghana Gold Board Act 2025. In an interview with Citi Business News, Head of Public Relations at Gold Board, Prince Kwame Minka, warned that operating beyond this a non-extendable deadline without a valid license will constitute a punishable criminal offense.
The Gold Board is by this reminding the general public that only duly licensed persons are authorized to engage in gold trading, jewelry manufacturing, gold fabrication, and of course gold refining business or businesses in the country. So engaging in these activities without a valid Gold Board license constitutes an offense and is punishable under the Act, that's the Gold Board Act 1140. So by this, in terms of operationalization, this is it. All existing licenses issued by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for gold refining, fabrication, among others, are no longer valid under the current legal framework. So it means that all existing jewelry manufacturers, fabricators, and gold refineries are, by the statement we've issued today, notified and required to regularize their operations by applying for and acquiring license under the Ghana Gold Board Act 1140.
Head of Public Relations at Gold Board, Prince Kwame Minka. That's all for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ejibi Uyafe Akinti. Up next is Point Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Oh, jump on now.
Go, Gugomi. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
The go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Dreaming big, thinking Africa. UBA Ghana's got your back. For business growth and expansion, UBA Ghana's got your back. With a 6 billion after loan facility, UBA Ghana's got your back. With POPs, send and receive money anywhere, UBA Ghana's got your back.
UBA Ghana has got your back. With the 6 billion after loan facility, your business can grow, export, and trade across the continent.
And with PAPS, send and receive money across Africa instantly. Now live on Leo, your 247 digital banking buddy. UBA Ghana.
Connecting you to Africa's opportunities. UBA.
Africa's global bank.
UBA Ghana's got your back.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's smarts we love. Or your community will win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. I am Umaru Sandama. The Point Blank tonight, we take you back to the Attorney General's Department. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, addressed the press today to give updates on what he's been doing, or his office has been doing, in terms of fighting crime. He was very heavy on former CEO of the Buffer Stock Company, but he also touched on other issues. Let's listen to him.
Investigations are still ongoing in respect of the following matters: All African Games, mathematical sets, Bank of Ghana new building, stadium renovation, and National Cathedral. In the case of the National Cathedral, we have actually requested that the Auditor General should conduct another forensic audit, and he's being held by one of the big four accounting companies to be able to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, now to the rumble in the jungle. The buffer stock investigation, which are nicknamed the rumble in the jungle, as at March 2020, when we announced the arrest and detention of suspects, Kobne Dubois' wife, Angela Eje Boateng, the Economic and Organized Crime Office had gathered credible intelligence regarding a criminal enterprise that was operated by the former chief executive, Mr. Hanan Abdul Wahab. Initial estimate put the amount of money paid to Mr. Abdul Wahab and his collaborators at the time at around 58 million Ghana cedis. far in excess of the 49 million suspected to have been stolen by Mr. Edubohe and his co-accused persons. I call the criminal enterprise operated by Abdul Wahab and his collaborators at Buffer Stock the rumble in the jungle, not only because of the huge amount of money at stake, but because of the fact that while food suppliers were wailing and gnashing their teeth due to failure to pay them for supplies to the Buffer Stock, and while our school kids were being denied nutrition under the school feeding program for lack of funds, Mr. Abdul Wahab and his collaborators were busy lawlessly looting funds meant for the program. That is jungle behavior. The informal meaning of the word rumble is to discover illicit or the perpetrator of the illicit activity. Through painstaking investigations, the EOCO discovered this illicit criminal enterprise run by a gang of corrupt, lawless officials at the Buffer Stock Company. On June 25, 2025, the EOCO conducted a coordinated operation based upon their initial investigations, which resulted in the arrest of Mr. Abdul Wahab, former chief executive Buffer Stock, his wife Faiza Seydou Wuni, and then James Atieku, the Buffer Stock manager for the northern sector, who was based in Tamale. The operation also led to the arrest of Emmanuel Atta, head of corporate affairs of NAFCO. The arrest followed initial intelligence and assessment by EOCO, who suggested that while serving as CEO of Buffer Stock between 2017 and 2024, Mr. Abdul Wahab colluded with his wife, Faiza Seydou Wuni, Richard Sam, head of finance, Bismarck Ousu Boache, finance department, and Emmanuel Atta, corporate affairs manager, and others to create an elaborate criminal enterprise that was used to steal and launder from the Buffer Stock Company. Within the period between 2017 and 2024, Mr. Abdul Wahab, in concert with Richard Sam Asante and Bismarck Ousu Boache, orchestrated a transfer of 78,269,084 Ghana cedis and 4 pesos from bank accounts of Buffer Stock Company to a private company linked to Hanan Abdul Wahab, his wife, and staff of Buffer Stock at Republic Bank and Bank. Evidence shows that the funds were instantly retransferred to companies owned by Abdul Wahab himself and companies and entities owned and associated with him and his wife. Similarly, evidence shows that between December 2017 and May 2019, Hanan Abdul Wahab transferred 5,495,780 Ghana cedis and 36 pesos from Buffer Stock company accounts to 2 belonging to Aludiba Enterprise, one of his companies, at Republic Bank and ABSA. Aludiba Enterprise is not a registered supplier of Buffer Stock Company. Hanan Abdul Wahab between 2019 to owned and run by himself and his wife. In July 2022, investigations found that Hanan Abdul Wahab transferred 251,050 cedis from Buffer Stock accounts to another bank account at Republic Bank belonging to Energy Partners, a company co-owned by Hanan Abdul Wahab and Emmanuel Atta, the head of corporate affairs of Buffer Stock Company. Energy Partners is not a service provider for Buffer Stock. The evidence shows that they run this criminal enterprise under the pretext of supplying food items to schools under the school feeding program. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 entities linked to Abdul Wahab and his wife were used as vehicles to receive and to launder the fruits of crime Buffer Stock Company. The money laundering took the form of property acquisitions across the country, including real estate and luxury goods using the same entities. The entities in question are as follows: Alkani Enterprise, Aludiba Enterprise, Energy Partners, Ventures, Farhauser Company Limited, and Aludiba Foundation, and also, and more importantly, Sortina Enterprise, owned by a third party connected to the couple. So Sortina was owned by Atieku Apau, who was then the Northern Sector Manager of Buffer Stock. Bank documents obtained by EOCO revealed that within the period that the suspects operated this criminal enterprise, wife and their entities became the largest depositors at Republic Bank, and the branch was at Labone branch. Investigations established that in 2018, Sortina Enterprise, an entity owned by James Atieko Apau, applied to become a licensed supplier to the Buffer Stock Company. This application was approved by his boss, Hanan Abdul Wahab, knowing very well that the approval placed James Atieko Apau in a conflict of interest situation because he was the manager of Buffer Stock in the northern sector. He formed a company and became a supplier to Buffer Stock. So on account of that alone, I can succeed on a charge of using public office for profit. Documentary evidence from bank accounts of Buffer Stock revealed that between 2018 and 2024, Buffer Stock transferred a total of 78,369,082 cedis and 4 pesos to Sortina Enterprises bank account at EcoBank and Republic Bank respectively. The payment were supposedly to pay for food supplied by Sortina to schools under the school feeding program. Verified records, including way bills and store receipt vouchers from Buffer Stock, however, indicated that only 27,389,872 cedis out of the payments to Sortina were backed by supplies. There is no evidence whatsoever that the remaining 50,879,021 cedis and 4 pesos paid to the enterprise was backed supplies or any service rendered to Buffer Stock. A review of Sortina bank account revealed that the bulk of the payments which Buffer Stock made to Sortina Enterprises bank accounts, about 98% of the over 78 million, were instantly retransferred to Alkani Enterprise, Fahauza Ventures, and other entities owned and controlled by or affiliated to Hanan Abdul Wahab and Faiza Seydou Wuni, his wife. Under interrogation, Mr. Atieko Apau stated that although some of the funds received into Sortina's EcoBank and Republic Bank accounts were for a few genuine supplies backed by way bills and store receipt vouchers, in most instances, no supplies were made, but he noticed that Buffer Stock kept making payments to his company, Sortina Enterprise. He also admitted that other third-party companies, which our investigations have established to be licensed buying companies or suppliers to Buffer Stock, also made several payments into Sortina's account. He said he neither knew the promoters of these companies, nor did his company have any business dealing with them. He had no explanation as to why millions were transferred to the company's bank account, but observed that those payments, whether from Buffer Stock or from third parties, were made into Sortina's account on the instruction of his boss, Hanan Abdul Wahab. He further explained that whenever such payments were deposited in Sortina's account, he was Hanan Abdul Wahab to expect the transfer and was later instructed on where to move or retransfer the funds. In effect, Sortina became a conduit for Hanan Abdul Wahab and his wife to steal Buffer Stock funds without easy detection. Transaction analysis of Sortina's Republic Bank account and entities used as vehicle to launder the proceeds of the criminal enterprise established by Hanan and his wife corroborated the claims made by Mr. James Atieko Apau. For example, a review of some of the retransfers of the funds paid to Sortina Enterprise by Buffer Stock Company revealed as follows. From Sortina Enterprise to Hanan Abdul Wahab, 60,179,137 Ghana cedis. Sortina Enterprise to Alkani, 23,913,964 Ghana cedis and 90 pesos. From Sortina Enterprise to Fahauza, 500,000 Ghana cedis. Sortina Enterprise to Chain Homes, 550,000, making a total of transfers that we have from across the bank accounts of 40,493,102 Ghana cedis and 15 pesos. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I've indicated, the proceeds of crime were used by the couple to acquire a lot of high-end luxury properties and especially real estate across the country. Now, as is typical of all investigations conducted by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, contemporaneous tracing of the proceeds of crime has been undertaken, and we can confirm that the couple purchased a number of high-end real estate properties from their ill-gotten wealth. The properties are as follows. 1. A 5-bedroom house bought from Chain Homes Limited between February 2019 and December 2020, cost of $1,625,000. Of this amount, $5,758,165 Ghana cedis, that is the equivalent of 230,841 United States of American dollars, was paid directly. Between October 2019, February 2021, the couple purchased plots at Fanali's airport development site for 750,000 United States of American dollars. The total payments were made in cash in the name of Faiza Said Wuni. We have the cash, receipts from the developer. Subsequently, in July 2021, Faiza Said Wuni signed a contract with a construction company, Mendaha and Souza Construction Limited, at a cost of $691,650 United States of American dollars to construct the shell and the core of the building. This excludes of architectural designs from Ansara Architecture Pty Limited, based in South Africa. The buildings sitting on Trade Plus is now estimated to be valued at $2,500,000 United States of American dollars. The couple also purchased 0.32 acres of government land from one Anthony Duke Essien at Chibodaku, a staff of the Dankwa Institute, as a front, to purchase from the Ministry of Lands and the Ministry of Lands and the Lands Commission at a price of 307,200 Ghana cedis. Duke Essien then instantly sold the land to Hanan Abdul Wahab and received about 2,567,000 Ghana cedis. The payment came from the criminal proceeds from buffer stock through Sortina Enterprise and through Alkani and Anan himself to Anthony Duke Essien. On the instruction of his brother, Duke Essien, Antoinette then wrote to the Lands Commission in March 2020 to instruct them that the lease should be in the name of Hanan Abdul Wahab. In May 2020, she made a U-turn and wrote to the Lands Commission to withdraw the documents bearing the name of Hanan Abdul Wahab and now replaced it with the name of the wife, Faiza Saidu Wuni. The couple developed 4 units of 4-bedroom apartments on the said land. The property is yet to be valued by our investigators. Now, ladies and gentlemen, other properties acquired by the couple are as follows. A 17-bedroom boutique hotel at Gumani in Tamale, in respect of which the couple used Fauza Company Limited to sign a franchise with Villa Monticello for the price of $250,000. In other words, $250,000. So they wanted Monticello to run it as if it is a Villa Monticello hotel. So they paid $250,000 to Villa Monticello, in order to hide the identity of the hotel. But we've been able to dig in, and we've gotten all the evidence, including all the receipts from Villa Monticello. There is a 4-bedroom bungalow situated at Jolo, Accra, valued at 4.1 million cedis. 3-story building, that is Chicken Republic building in Tamale, situated at Estate Junction, Tamale. 5-bedroom mansion at Canville, Dorado Street, Tamale. 3-bedroom house, Palissy, Tamale. 1-story building, number 10 Selby Gardens, Achimwa. Then a 0.27 acre plot of land, Estate Junction, Tamale. 0.29 acre of land, close to Workers College, Tamale. We have also frozen all these assets and will be taking steps to have them confiscated to the state in the course of the criminal proceedings. We have no doubt in our minds that these properties were bought from the proceeds of crime. When interrogated, Faiza Wuni, the wife of Anan, said she was a housewife being paid 5,000 Ghana cedis a month by the husband. It's the legitimate income that we know. We have also taken note of the legitimate earnings of Hanan Abdul Wahab when he was appointed. His initial salary from 2017 was 14,000 Ghana cedis, a little above 14,000 Ghana cedis. He exited buffer stock in December 2024 with a salary of 28,000 per month. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do your mathematics. All right, and there are also legitimate earnings apart from these that I have named. Do your mathematics and tell me, in good faith, whether a couple earning this amount of money can buy a house costing 1.6 million United States of American dollars at chain homes. That is the question, not for the gods, but for us as citizens to be able to answer, and answer very well through the accountability process. And that is why I keep saying that it is important that we do painstaking investigations. Because without the painstaking investigations that were done quietly, we started this in February. In February 2025, this investigation started in February 2025. And it is now that we have the results. As I have also told you, the oral reports are still coming into my office. Now, those who are pushing me to go to court and who are saying that now convictions should have been obtained, I know you are Ghanaians, you have legitimate expectations of your government officials, including the president and the attorney general. But we need to do a good job. Accountability costs resources. Accountability, takes time. And so it is important that Ghanaians are patient so that we have the kind of results that I'm announcing today. Not that I will rush to court. Defense lawyers will come and raise objections, throw my case out, and then the same Ghanaians who wanted me to go to court expeditiously will now turn around and say that Ayine is an incompetent attorney general. I was never an incompetent lawyer in private practice. I don't want to be an incompetent lawyer in public service.
The hopes of Dr. Dominic Ayine, Ghana's Attorney General and Minister for Justice, speaking today at a press conference at the seat of government. That's by way of Eyewitness News tonight, which came to you from our studios in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. I did this with a Jubi Afia Kenton. Production tonight led by Fred Tete Jabano ahead of current affairs with Bevelyn Landon, and technical support coming through from Daniel Squashi. The new media team provided us the live online coverage. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Eyewitness News is repeated at midnight for purposes of those who may have missed portions of the program. So you want to stay tuned in to Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM at midnight for that playback. Thank you for listening. Good night.
Citi News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.